April 2026, Malda District, West Bengal. Hundreds of people barricaded National Highway 12 with burning tires and held 7 judicial officers hostage inside a local office for 9 straight hours. Those throwing stones at arriving police vehicles included local teachers, farmers, and shopkeepers. These were ordinary citizens driven to desperation because their names had suddenly vanished from the official voter registry. Data from the Election Commission's Special Intensive Revision shows 2 distinct categories of removal: 61 lakh voters deleted outright, and another 60 lakh trapped in a legally ambiguous void, labeled as suspected voters. Statistically, in a family of 6, at least one person lost their right to vote. A routine bureaucratic process triggered a widespread, desperate crisis of disenfranchisement across the state. Earning that suspected label required nothing more than a spelling mistake. If a clerk typed a U instead of an O in a name 20 years ago, the voter was flagged. If bureaucratic records showed an age gap between family members of less than 15 years or more than 45, their voting rights were suspended. Muhammad Dul Ali took bullets for India during the Kargil War. Despite his official army service records, he was placed on the suspected voter list. Even international recognition offered no protection. Richa Ghosh, a World Cup winning cricketer for the national team, was among those dumped into the suspected list. No human judge reviewed these files. The Election Commission handed the power of citizenship over to a software algorithm, one that was never tested for accuracy before its deployment. When a democracy automates the removal of rights through untested code, the very definition of citizenship becomes dangerously fragile. On the evening of March 24th, this software malfunctioned and incorrectly flagged 7 Crower voters, nearly the entire state, as suspected in a single night. Officials later passed this off as a technical glitch, but instead of halting the program, local election officers bypassed written laws, using informal WhatsApp messages to instruct field officers to mark voters as absent before official deadlines. The government defended this aggressive sweep as a security necessity, claiming the voter rolls were bloated with illegal Bangladeshi immigrants who had to be removed. A technological failure was permitted to continue under the guise of an urgent national security imperative. Verifying that security claim required the raw data, but the Election Commission published the voter lists in 228 megabyte files that were non-searchable. They added watermarks to block automated analysis and hid the documents behind a capture wall. Under the watch of top election officials like Ganesh Kumar, the data remained largely out of the public's reach. Independent data journalists manually digitized over 35,000 records to bypass the cover-up. For the first time, it was possible to test the illegal immigrant claim against reality. Forcing the hidden data into the light reveals a pattern of deliberate institutional obstruction hidden behind the cover of a tech glitch. The rescued data shows the highest rates of unmapped voters are actually in areas populated by Hindu Dalit refugees, yet they were not the primary targets of the purge. This bar chart reveals a stark disparity. In certain constituencies, the algorithm flagged only 3% of voters at Hindu majority booths, while flagging up to 87% at neighboring Muslim majority booths. These targeted deletions perfectly overlap with constituencies won by incredibly narrow margins in 2021. While legitimate voters were being erased, political operatives were allegedly caught bulk dumping thousands of Form 6 applications to inject new, out-of-state voters into the registry. The demographic data reveals a surgical impact to these deletions, one that shifts the balance of local election outcomes before a single vote is cast. This tactic of mass algorithmic deletion is not limited to Bengal. Similar allegations of sudden voter purges have appeared in recent state elections in Delhi and Maharashtra. While 27 lakh voters were officially deleted in Bengal, only 2 individuals have received a tribunal hearing to get their rights back. If this blueprint of delete and delay goes unchecked, the fundamental promise of a free and fair democracy is compromised. You should check the ECI portal immediately. If you or your family members have been caught in this purge, you must formally file an appeal as soon as possible. The ultimate fate of these millions of voters now rests on upcoming hearings in the Supreme Court. Algorithms and informal WhatsApp orders cannot override constitutional rights if the public refuses to look away. A right unexercised and undefended Is a right permanently lost?